Hey everybody, Robert from My S'mores here. I know it's been a bit since I've done a live or even talked to anybody for a little bit. I've been off on my own little tangent, uh, jumping into uh, Warhammer stuff, seeing as how it's the new thing. Normally I would have done like something about the 2A community, guns and stuff like that, piggybacking off our channels a little bit, but things have changed here a little bit here at My S'mores. The clutches that we had of ball pythons that have not been sold, so to speak, I've donated to a local 501c reptile rescue so they can get homes. Uh, the local 501c here in Yorktown is Viper Inc. And they will be going to. Sorry about that telemarketer trying to come through. I'm like, nope, sorry, bye. Uh, yeah, the 2023 clutch of the of the triple, double, or triple hats because I paired my albino with a male hypo visual and another male black axanthic that was also het hypo. Uh, Needless to say, it's kind of hard to tell who was the daddy on that one because it basically made normals and a bunch of dinkers that didn't look like your usual normals. And because shed testing would be expensive, like $60 per snake, uh, it's kind of hard to. It was kind of hard to label them being het for anything more than three, or possibly three, because of the two different sires that were used. But either way, those snakes will go good with any other project where somebody might be pairing albino or hypo or black axanthic, or if they're going to try to make other het combinations like clown, pied, whatever. And that seems to be like the big thing in the snake community right now. The 2004 clutches. Uh, I I sold some of that a while back, and then the rest also went to the 501c Viper Inc. here in Yorktown. I only kept four holdbacks total. Two of them were my Spider Pastel ODs, basically sisters. I wish they were twins, but they're not, but they look awesome. And I kept one Enchi from the albino banana Enchi litter, and I kept one Pastave from the Pastel OD paired with the female Mojave chocolate het orange ghost. Uh, Give you a little bit of a reason why I kept those four. The Spider Pastel ODs, or OD for Orange Dream, are my first incomplete dominant combinations where I've got three gene combos. All the other stuff was basically either single gene expressions or double gene or double morph expressions. Uh, but yeah, I've never had an Enchi, like an Enchi on its own, because can't really find any around where I'm at. Everybody is either in the clowns, pieds, or other combinations that are like. Let's put it this way: if the label for how many gene combinations, hets, or whatever goes past 12 inches, as far as like descriptors, that's pretty much what everybody else has around here. They don't have anything. Not many people have anything simple anymore. But I always wanted an Enchi, and producing an Enchi, so I'm going to keep it. Uh, the Pastave, I always wanted a Pastave because I thought they looked awesome. But nobody had a Pastave around, so ended up creating one, so I kept one. Uh, as far as everything else is concerned, I don't know if I'm going to be breeding this season. Because I did not breed last season. Like, Uh, yeah, didn't breed last season, and I'm probably not going to breed this season as far as well with ball pythons are concerned. I might have another run with my boas because I was more successful selling boas for whatever reason, but that may be because the trends in the reptile market have switched from small snakes like your colubrids, your corn snakes, your ball pythons, stuff like that, and the general consensus is that people are gravitating towards large snakes, which means boa constrictors, berms, retics, blood pythons, or short-tailed pythons, whatever have you. But that's kind of where everything is going right now. So I'm kind of having to pivot and adjust. So that's where things are at right now. I still have 3 boas left from my first boa litter. So yeah, I got 2 females left and 1 male. The 1 male is a Key West. Uh, the 1 female, which is turning turning out to be a big pig as far as like eating, is a normal, but she's got an aberrant pattern where her saddles or chevrons did not connect. Oh, oh, which ones do you want to see, Michael? The boas or the ball pythons? Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep up with my dreams there, Phantom Edit. It's just a little bit hard because things the market is in a little bit of a recession. It is what it is, and interests are changing. So you gotta try to keep up with the market. But okay, I'm gonna try to show you. I'm gonna show you the boas right here. They're in this one side here in the ARS caging here. This is the hold up. This is the 1 female that is the all gene girl from my first litter litter of boas. She's a hypo jungle Key West. She's got a very nice ladder pattern that stretches out all the way out. She used to be a bit snippy, but I've had to handle her a lot more. I've done a lot of hook training with her. Right now she's on small rats. And right now the boas are actually almost a year old now, which is weird because I've been slow growing them. This here is that one with the aberrant pattern, and she looks like she's like expecting something. It's like, give me a rat or something. It's like, nope, not gonna do it. Maybe later, but you can see she's kind of primed. She's not flicking her tongue or anything. She's just got, oh, there's a little bit of tongue flick, but she's like waiting for it. It's like, you're gonna give me something, right? Yeah, I see that. Okay. And here's my Key West boy. He's darkening up and he's getting all wrinkly around the neck. He might be getting ready to shed soon. Yeah, you can see that nice ladder tail pattern. I think he gets some of that from his daddy, who was a Roswell ladder tail. Okay, I'm going to show you the ball python, the 4 remaining ball pythons I have left from the 2024 litters. This is the Spider Pastel OD. It's all coiled up. Looks like they're getting ready to shed too. Their colors are pretty dull. Moment they shed, they brighten up, and they brighten up good. That's the one thing I like about OD. It's an enhancer. Oops, somebody shed. Oh yeah, that's a nice whole shed. And as you can see, this one is all sorts of brighted out. Look how high white the sides of her are. God, I love OD. And just so you know that yes, because they're a spider, uh, uh, I've never seen them corkscrew or do that other aberrant neurological head shake or wobble or anything. Their mom is just a regular spider, nothing else. If anything, she's mostly kind of shy, a little hesitant. I mean, I handle her often, but she doesn't wobble, she doesn't corkscrew or anything, so kind of won out on that one. And she actually gave me the surprise litter. I didn't think she was big enough yet, but apparently when I paired her with the pastel OD, she took up. And this one's the Enchi. Got a lot of keyholes and stuff like that, but yeah, this one's Enchi. It doesn't have anything else going with it. That's the only one left from the albino crossed with the banana Enchi. And here's the Pastave. I just fed the clown not too long ago before starting this one up, so if I open that thing up, he's going to shoot out because he's probably going to be expecting food. That's one thing I like about my snakes. They got good food. They got a good food drive. But yeah, uh, now that I've got a lot of freed up space here in the VE6 racks, I'm probably going to start getting ready to grow up the holdbacks, then put them in the available spaces here in the other 7010 rack. Uh, Other than that, uh, it's probably going to be a very long bit before I start dealing with ball pythons again. I mean, I still might want to get other morphs out there because I definitely am interested in getting pieds, but it's just the availability and what is out there. I mean, I can always go down to Hampton and talk to Anthony Lecomte from Conley Herps Inc. because not only is he a big producer of rats, feeders, and all that stuff, he also does his own ball pythons. He used to do boas, but now he's focusing more on the ball pythons. But I've seen a couple of deals he's had on pied, so might take him up on a couple of those. Uh, it's a little warm in here. I had to cut off the fan, but yeah. Uh, Hopefully, those people over at Viper Inc. will get the babies that I had out there. Mind you, yeah, they'll be asking a price for them and everything, but it's mostly because they are a non-profit one. It's mostly just to cover costs of regaining materials, like tubs, food, substrate, all that other stuff, because they do take in a lot of snakes from other people, not just me. Here's that black xanthic hypo. Right now, he looks like he's getting into his shed because I can see how pink his belly is and how dark his alien heads are. You can tell the black xanthic by the total elimination of anything yellow on him. Because, I mean, he almost looks like dark black chocolate, everything. But yeah, this is the black xanthic. Here's our hypo. Believe it or not, I got him as a trade, and he was 1 year old and super small. Basically, whoever had gotten him from a store they were just basically maintenance feeding him. And when I mean he was 1 year old, he was smaller than most of my yearlings that I produced, and I was kind of shocked because like how can somebody maintenance feed an animal so little and produce a snake so small? But I ended up getting a hold of him, and boy, did he start ballooning up because I actually started feeding him more than just maintenance feeding, like actual feeding him, giving him appropriate sized meals and with frequency. So he went from being freaking yay small, coiled up in my palms, to a chunky boy. He's actually filled out to a point where his eyes actually match his head, because he used to have really big buggy eyes. Right here's the pastel OD. He is now a 2-time father. Step up here. Okay. Alright, here's the banana Enchi. And he's wondering, he's like, you gonna give me something? Better give me something. He's like, no, dude, you had like 2 meals and you're all coiled up, all sorts of funny, trying to digest the foods. Oop. Ah. Well, at least I don't need the ladder anymore. Alright, this here is... Oh yeah, black pastel, 66% het clown. I'm going to try to prove her out, plus her sister, which is right below her. Her sister is a black pewter, also 66% het clown. Now, mind you, 66% het clown means pretty much freaking... There's a probability that she's het clown, but if I pair those two to my actual clown, male, there's a chance of proving that out. Hopefully. But like I said, 66% het. Nope, wrong one. Next one here in the lineup. Hello, Mama. There's the spider. She's probably freaking duping around. And here's the Mojave chocolate now. That's proven. Het orange ghost. And here's Big Mama albino. She is a low contrast albino, and she is a porker. She has never, ever refused a meal. And she's given me 2 litters. And right down here is our retiree. This is Phantasma, our Phantom. The reason she's retired is because she ended up getting egg-bound not once, but twice. And my standing rule is this. If you ever have a snake, or any snake that you're breeding, if they ever get egg-bound more than once, you should pull them from any other breeding program that you have. Just retire them completely. Because every time they get kinked up on the inside in their oviducts, it just makes it more likely to happen more and more often, irregardless of husbandry. It's just something that's wrong that happens with the internal oviducts with the female ball pythons. And it's something you don't want to risk, because if you don't catch them in time, that stuck egg can become toxic and result in sepsis and can result in death of your snake. And every time, the only 2 times I've had her that she ever became egg bound, my wife most specifically, had to massage the snake to get the egg out. Not to mention we had to give her a lot of extra hydration and something with potassium in it to help her get some energy to move it out. Oh man, whew. Yeah, this right here is the rat rack. Yeah, and so that's another one of those things people ask me about, is why do I have my rat rack in the same room with the snakes? Well, for one, I don't have a shed of my own to put outside where I can have the rats at and keep them separate or anything. And I don't have the extra equipment where I can just like put an AC unit and filtration to keep them from overheating or freezing to death and all that stuff. So I keep them in here, and the smell. Now, mind you, I do have to clean every couple of days because smell from these guys, the bedding, the poo, the urine, yeah, gotta get it quick every couple of days. But the scent of the rats and the mice is at least in the air, because these rack systems of mine, especially the ARS 7010s, they do have ventilation holing that can be adjusted or covered to maintain humidity, but just enough air with that rat scent to keep them ready, get their senses keyed in. And like they'll be, whenever a rat is thrown in and they see it and they go right for it, easy pickings. I haven't had a problem with it so far, or having to deal with like a food aggression or anything like that. Thank God. But I do have to deal with the fact that the response is going to be pretty quick. So sometimes I have to open the tubs by pulling on the lid with a hook and then dangling the food just ever so quickly in front of them, and then pow, they grab them real quick. Yeah. But yeah, I am definitely going to try with the Boas again this season. And that's going to be a pretty long season, considering that normally everybody starts pairing them. Well, the Boas at least, everybody knows working with them starts pairing them with them in the next 2 months, starting off. And they normally won't stop until well into like January or February. And by then, they won't be seeing litters of baby boas or anything like that until maybe a couple more months later. Damn it. Knowing my luck, I'll probably end up getting another late season. It seems like every time I get an ovulation from any of my snakes, whether it's ball pythons or boas, it's mid-spring, late spring, going into summer, and then the whole time of waiting through post-ovulation shed, and then watching the swelling and all that stuff take place, and then waiting either next 58 to 90 or 100 days waiting for something to drop, or pip, so to speak. But right now, with the way things are going, everything's a bit of a big if, because I don't know if anything else market-wise or interest-wise is going to change in the area. I honestly don't know who dictates what the changes is or what the interests are. I think that's mostly the other large-scale breeding operations making predictions, and based off those predictions, they pretty much manipulate the market a little bit. Oh man, I'm gonna open up a window here or a door, some air going. But yeah, it's probably going to be another quiet year while I make more adjustments. I mean, one of my biggest plans or future plans is to replace the rest of my V6s here, because right now all I have is like 3. I got 2 stacked here holding up this thing, and then there's one on the ground level. I eventually want to replace them with another racking system like the ARS caging. They do have a whole bunch of modular setups where I can buy the base and then gradually build level I need. So I can probably start building like an intermediate level before they fill up the rest of the 7010 spaces, because I've only got, if I take away the spots that the boas are occupying right now, which is 3 spots, all I have is like 7 spaces left. But when I sell the boas, that'll end up bringing it back to 10. So I'll end up having like 10 spots available for breeding adults in the future. And then I can build up an ARS rack however I want between intermediate sizes like sub-adult, and then build up one that's specifically just for like newborns. And given the amount of room I have left in here, I might need to rearrange stuff, but at least I have. Right down here is a power strip, which right now these two towers are set up connected to the ones farthest here, plug-in ones. Well, these three right here are plugged in the closest. So yeah, right here it's probably about 4 feet. So I need to have an ARS rack that's about at least 4 feet in width, maybe longer, and maybe will eventually be about the same level of depth as the 7010s as far as like front to back. But yeah, that's the plan for later on in the future. Each of those levels on their own are going to be expensive because they're like a little bit over $100 a pop for the base on wheels. Then each base with a heating element, and then tubs one after the other. So that's going to be like, that would be ending up like being a couple $100 purchases every other month until I get a satisfactory size level of what I want. Sorry for all the snorkeling and everything. The heat and the smell, and sometimes a little bit of the dust and stuff like in here does get my allergies going. But yeah, for all those in Virginia that might be going out to any of the reptile conventions, if you do run into Viper Inc. out of Yorktown, they will have some of my 23 and 2023 and 2024 clutches. So they'll have the serial numbers on their bags, my name. The guy running it will have my phone number and contact information, Facebook profile, and all that stuff to contact me by if in case anybody has questions about the snakes that I've created, as far as like their temperament, what's their diet, or anything like that. So just feel free to contact me on Facebook or by my phone number, which is attached to it. So, well, this is Robert from Ice Morph. Signing out, and you all have a good day. Peace.